Right, I'm going to bleed the clutch up and do a fluid change, and then I'm going to do the brakes, front and rear brakes as well. But as you can see, I haven't touched anything yet on this. Oh, a bit too much. As you can see there, you can hardly see. Oh, I'm falling over the bike now. Just trying to get a view. You can hardly see the fluid in there. It's well low. Now it was like that when it came, but we'll top it up and, well, obviously we'll do a fluid change and we'll get it up to the right level. So I'll knock you off for now and get set up and we'll make a start. Back in a minute. Right, put a towel, obviously an old one. I'm not going to go and have a shower and dry myself with this afterwards. But old towel or an old rag or just something to cover the paintwork, that if anything spills out of this, it soaks into that and doesn't go all over your paintwork. So basically, just undo your reservoir lid. You're going to make sure to put your towel or rag or whatever it is you're using underneath before you even unscrew this, because you don't know what's going to drip off this when it's finally loose. Right, and then just lift the top off. Just stick that down here for now. And then just carefully lift off the top. See, there's liquid on there. What you want to be careful of is, as I say, the reason for the towel is that you're taking this stuff out, you can spill. I mean, it's not as bad on this one because of the fact that it's empty. Right, as you can see there, I think you can. There, it's just dripped out now and it's gone down the handlebar, just there. And I've just dripped some more out, so I'll just grab another rag and just quickly clean that off. Right, as you can see in there, all the dirt that's in the bottom of the reservoir. So what I'll do is I'm going to soak that up, the stuff that's in there, and I'm going to give it a quick clean out before I put any fresh stuff in. So I'll just knock you off for now and I'll come back in a minute. Right, as you can see, a lot cleaner than it was. That stuff you can see there, that's not actually dirt, it's just like discoloration. I give it a scrape with the edge of a screwdriver just to see if it would come off, but it's just like a discoloration on there. I've gone the wrong way. Discoloration of the aluminium. So, but all the shit that was in there that you could actually see through the liquid, that's all gone now, so nice and clean. So I'll just grab my brake fluid and we'll start getting this job done. Back in a minute. Right, brake fluid. Put decent stuff in. At the end of the day, it's what's going to save you if you need to stop in a hurry. And the price difference between decent stuff and cheap shit isn't actually that much. So it's worth putting the good stuff in to start with. So just pour her in. Get it up a bit. Try not to spill it and overfill it. If I turn the bars slightly, actually, I'll level it up a bit. Right, I'll just leave it at that for a minute. I'll just knock you off a minute, get your tripod, and we'll get to this clutch end and the clutch cylinder and start bleeding it up. Back in a minute. Right, got my spanner on the bleed nipple, got my pipe connected into an old jar. So what you want to do is pull your clutch lever in and then open your, that's tight. That's incredibly tight. Right, as I'm bleeding it anyway, I'm just gonna crack this before. I'm just gonna need both paws on job. I've got it. Right, put my blocks back. Now I normally have a long pipe on this, but I can't friggin' find it, so I've got to have my short one on. I'm just hoping that when I turn it, it doesn't chuck a bottle off the top of the blocks. Right, so again, pull the clutch lever in and then open the, and before it gets all the way to the bars, close it again. And I don't know if you noticed there was air as well coming out of that, so that's what you don't want to have keep happening neither, because the last thing you want is to squirt brake fluid all over the. Right, just open it up, close it, release your lever, and then just start again. I don't know how well this will show up on the camera, but I can actually see air bubbles coming out of this. Now I know I drained, or should I say cleaned out all the whatchamacallit, the fluid out of the reservoir, sorry, but that shouldn't have affected down at this point here. Making a right cat's ass of this. Right, I'm gonna go. Let's start pulling the lever in, off, on, it's spilling down there. Chuck a rag under there. A quick wipe off. I think what I'm doing is actually pulling the pipe off of that. I'm going to need a clean up in here. I can find nothing, so that's why I'm using the short pipe. Right, clutch lever in again, and basically you just want to keep going until you can see the clean fluid coming through and no air bubbles, and keep checking where your level is in your reservoir. I'll just top this up and keep topping it up so that you don't end up sucking air in at the top end. Right, and start again. Just keep pulling that pipe back into place. Fucking cat's ass, I'm making of this. As I say, I don't know if you'll be able to tell on camera, but you can see by the colour change of the fluid that the new stuff's starting to come through. Right, and that's nice clean fluid, and there's probably, the jar was empty, and there'll be as much as what was in the reservoir to start with before I started bleeding it, that is. Let's top that up again. I'll just grab a rag, just a sec. Right, and when you pull your pipe off, have your rag ready, because it will want to just spill, like so. And then before it has a chance to dribble everywhere, I would recommend that you use a long pipe, which I have got, I just don't know where it's at, and not a short pipe, because as you've just seen there, you end up making a bit of a mess. Just make sure you get everything soaked up. And that'll do for that. Just span the wipe off, and then just nip that. Just make sure it's proper tight, which it is. Put the little cap back over. And then give the clutch feel. Make sure it's not got like a sloppy feel to it, that you can tell that it's got fluid in it, sort of thing. And there's absolutely nothing, when you tickle it, like same on the front brake, if there's any air in the pipe and you just sort of tickle the lever sort of thing, if there's any air in, you can see it coming up back into the reservoir, and there's now coming out up there. So obviously I'll know 100%, I'm pretty sure it's fine, but I'll know 100% once I've took it for a test run. But that's the fluid changed in the clutch, and clutch bled sort of thing. So the brakes are basically the same. Pull your lever in, open your bleed valve, close your bleed valve, let your lever off, etc, etc. Same for front and rear. So what I'll do is I'll get them done and then I'll come back. Okay. Right, front and rear brakes are now like fluid change and bled up. I was just on this putting the reservoir lid on and that, just thought I'd point out, clean your seal before you put it back on, get rid of all the old fluid on it, and then just sit it in place. And then the cover that goes over that, again clean that, make sure everything's nice and clean. And also on the cover, well, not the cover itself, the cover just goes on. But on the screws I've put just a tiny little smidgen of that anti-seize grease. That marine stuff that I was on about when I did, I can't remember what it was, I put it on now. But yeah, just a little bit of that just helps them go in more smoothly, but more importantly it stops it seizing up with the corrosion on the aluminium. So if you let them stay dry, one day you'll come to take them out and you'll just round the head off on the screw, because it'll be that tight, it'll be stuck in with corrosion. So a little bit of, I've used that marine grease, like waterproof anti-seize grease, but I mean even a little touch of like copper slip or something like that will be just as good. But right, that's cover on. I'll just lift this camera off actually. We'll have a bit nose about. Right, as you can see there, oh, too far again. Fluid's full and clean, as you can see. The clutch, if I can get it come into the view. Clutch is full and clean. Also, on the back, just zoom out a bit. For the back brake, your reservoir is, pop that back on. Your reservoir's in there underneath your, this is your rear side panel, and if there's a screw goes in here that screws into the frame, there's like a, where's it at? Can't see that. There. There's like a pushy bit there that goes through the rubber grommet. There's also right in the bottom, I don't know, well, if at all, I'll try and get the camera on it. Now I haven't fastened this back on yet because I don't know if you can see there's a cable running there, and I just need to fasten that up out of the way. But just underneath the reservoir, I can't seem to get it to there actually. You can just see there's a hole there, and that's got one of them plastic inserts that go in like what we were putting in the front fairing. But you're just going to make sure that when you actually do put it back, that the side panel is underneath the inner hole, because as soon as you pull this panel out it pops up and goes above the hole. So, and on here, to check your level, you're not going to be able to see, I don't think. But on there, there's a viewing, that line there you can see there is low, and it's got a similar line at the top there, which is your full. So just keep an eye on your brake fluid levels, and as I say, sort of every 2 years you want to be looking at doing a fluid change. Keep it in tip-top sort of condition. So right, so that's the brakes done. Nice solid lever sort of thing. Well, not solid obviously, it wouldn't fucking work, but nice. It hasn't got a lot of travel in it, which is good. Right, I'm just going to tie these cables up out of the way, and then I'll fasten this side panel back on properly. I've got tyre pressures to check, and that pretty much all the job's done. So yeah, it's been a few odd jobs. I'll get the rest of this thing put back together, and then I'll be taking it out for a run. I've still got to check. In fact, I'll wait until it's dark to take it out for a run, because then I can test these spotlights that they're set in the right position. And if I shove the camera in my pocket when I'm out in the dark, I might film it so you can see what the spotlights are actually like in the dark. So, but yeah, I'll get it back together for now, and I'll knock you off and we'll come back later. Alright. Right, I've had the bike out, running absolutely spot on, brakes, everything working. So I was going to take it out later tonight and show the lights, etc. But I've spoken to the lad to let him know it's finished, and basically I'm taking it to his house for him in the next sort of 5 minutes. So this is the last of the videos for the old lass. So, right, and that's it for now. Well, that's it on this bike till end of year anyways. So, right, catch you later.